Yo, it's your brother Mo coming at you from my room over here in Bali. And today I want to talk to you about the number one habit to make you more masculine. Okay, now first things first, just to clarify what exactly is masculinity, what is femininity, because this is something that I was confused about when I was like in my late teens, early 20s. I thought that being masculine meant that I had to control everything and be aggressive and tell other people to respect me and respect my authority and just dominate other people, right? It's like this common conception. I was like lifting weights all the time, trying to be big and strong, and to the point where I was like just going so hard in the gym where I ended up getting injured. And that was a time which for me was to go inward and ask myself why I am even doing these things right now and what my intention is. Is it because I don't feel like I'm enough that I'm trying to compensate with my body trying to be big and strong? And that is when I dove deeper into more feminine practices like yoga and, mobility, flexibility, opening up my body, and realizing really that masculinity and femininity are the twin forces of this universe that we live in, okay? It's not male and female. Male and female are expressions of masculine and feminine energy. Males have feminine energy as well. Females have masculine energy as well. But when these energies are out of harmony with who we really are, that is when we begin to experience these negative emotions, these negative situations play out in our life, and we don't feel like ourselves, because when we feel like ourselves, we feel amazing. We're kind to ourselves, we're kind to our future selves, we're kind to the people in our lives. But when we are not in harmony, that is when our energies are not in alignment. They are not in, in the proper balance that they are supposed to be. Okay, so understand that masculinity and femininity are the twin forces of this universe. We can't have one without the other. Okay, light and darkness, chaos and order. Okay, think about it like this, man. Like, Aristotle talked about the golden mean, which was the harmony between two excesses, right? And even a virtue, he said, would become a vice if it was experienced in excess. Okay, for example, courage is a virtue, but if it goes into excess, then it becomes recklessness. If it is not in, if it's deficient, then it becomes cowardice, right? You become a coward. So we have to find that golden harmony between masculine and feminine energies. For me personally, it was a journey in getting in touch with my own feminine energy so that I could be more open to the possibilities in my life. Because think about it like this, like masculine energy is ordered, it's structured, okay? And the fact is that it is a paradox, because the more structure we have, the more disciplined that we are, the more we can experience freedom in our lives. Okay, freedom you can think of as a feminine quality of, flexibility, of openness, right? So if we want freedom with our health, we have to be disciplined with our practice of movement, with what we put inside our body. If we want freedom with our finances, we have to be disciplined with how we spend our time and how we spend our money. If we want freedom in our relationships, we have to be disciplined with actually showing up for other people in our lives, right? So they come together, and like all the deepest truths in this universe, it is a paradox, because through discipline comes freedom. Okay, Aristotle said this like thousands of years ago. Today, our modern day warrior Jocko Willink says discipline equals freedom, right? So it's about having that harmony of masculine and feminine energies. And today in modern society, there's a huge trend of an increase in femininity, right, in men, because estrogen levels have gone way up through the food supply, through the water supply, through the pharmaceutical industry, through the personal care products. Like all of these products have an influence on our testosterone to estrogen ratio and impact our masculine and feminine energies. Okay. So just be clear that we have to find the harmony between them. Obviously, if you are a very manly man, that means that you are more in touch with your masculine side. But if you are not in touch with your feminine side, then you will be lacking that wholeness and that full expression of yourself to actually express who you are capable of being. Okay? Because if you're too structured, then you become rigid and you don't allow for the possibility of new things to open up in your life. I've definitely been there, okay? But if you are too flexible, if you are focused too much on the freedom, then it becomes chaos, okay? So think about it like chaos and order. We have to find the golden harmony between them so that we can experience that easeful state of being whereby we are who we are and there is no tension, there's no stress, negative stress that is holding us back from living up to our fullest expression. Okay, so what is that number one habit? Well, the most masculine thing that you can do is to practice stillness. Okay, think about it like this: when the empire is under attack and people are losing their shit and everyone's going crazy, they think they're gonna die, like everyone around is going crazy, but the king, the true king, who is in his masculine presence, he is completely still. He is practicing his rational judgment in terms of what objectively is the most empowered thing to do right now. This is why I'm a student of Stoicism, because they preach, and the whole intention of Stoicism is to sharpen our objective view of reality, to not let the emotions of the moment affect how we are being. Okay, yes, the emotions will come, but emotional mastery, mastering your emotions, is not about controlling your emotions. It's about not being in control by your emotions. Okay, when the emotions come, they are a signal for us, and what we do with that signal depends on who we are being in that moment, whether we're being rational, whether we're being still, whether we're being present, or whether we are being a victim of these emotions whereby we just lose our shit like that. All right, so practicing your stillness is the most masculine thing that you can do. I hesitate to use the word meditation because there are so many connotations associated with this word, right? But there are basically two types of meditation. Okay, from Tibet, where the meditation came out from, like it was Tibet and then India, right? So in Tibetan language, meditation means to become familiar with. All right, so this is something that I practice a lot, just sitting in my place of silence, of stillness, and observing my thoughts, just sitting there and watching the thoughts pass by. This is definitely an exercise in stillness, because your body will tell you to move up, your body will tell you feel like getting up, but when you practice and stay in your space and you tell your body that, yo, you are not in charge right now, I'm going to practice my stillness, I'm going to observe my thoughts, I'm going to sit in my place of silence till my timer hits 10, 20, 30 minutes, however long you want to do it, and only then will I get up. Okay, so this is the practice of becoming familiar with the own drama that's going on within your ears, so that there's a distance between it, so that when you experience these emotions in the moment, then there's a distance already that you have been practicing, that you have been shining your awareness in, so that when a stressful situation comes up, you are able to detach from the emotions, the thoughts of the moment, and behave more rationally. Okay, that is the type of stillness that I'm talking about right now. And that's why Ryan Holiday also wrote an entire book called Stillness is the Key. I haven't checked it out at this point. There's so many books on my reading list, but it really is about practicing our stillness, because we live in this distraction society, the hustle, the bustle of always being busy. But like taking out 20 minutes in the morning for me, 20 minutes at night, and practicing my stillness is an essential quality in me separating myself from my emotions, from my thoughts, getting an objective view of them so that I can behave rationally and in my most empowered expression. Okay, and secondly, like meditation, the second aspect of it is it's like comes from Sanskrit, which means contemplation. And this is when you're contemplating. Like I do a lot of guided meditations as well. I switch between stillness and then this guided meditation whereby I'm going through my ideal vision and stuff like that. That's not what I'm talking about over here. Okay, that's more about manifesting, about creating a life that you love, getting clarity on the vision that you seek to create. I'm not talking about that here. The most masculine thing that you can do is to practice your stillness. And then when the emotions of the moment come in, that is when you have already exercised the muscle of your stillness, of detachment from your thoughts, from your emotions, from the hustle, the bustle, from the chaos that's going on right now. And you find your center and you behave most rationally. Okay, I think, I'm not sure who said it, but he said that I think it was Newton, I'm not sure, some philosopher said that all of man's problems stem from the inability to sit quietly in a room for 20 minutes, right? So this is harder than it seems. Like I'm sure if you've tried it before, it's been more difficult, but obviously the more you do it, the more you exercise this muscle, the better you are able to be in that space, right? So that is my challenge for you. Implement stillness into your life first thing in the morning. Okay, if you're trying to build a new habit, the best place to put it is first thing in the morning. That is when you have the willpower reserves on full, and that is the time where you will be less distracted by anything else. Like if you're waking up late, just put your timer like 30 minutes earlier and meditate, like practice stillness for like 10 minutes before you start your day. And you will see this factor into every other area of your life as well, whereby you're more rational, you're more objective with how you're going about life. When someone cuts you off in traffic, you're not losing your shit. You're not a victim of that person. You're objective, and you choose your most empowered response in the situation rather than reacting to the stimulus in the environment. Okay? That is the most masculine thing you can do. And with all that being said, this has been Mo. And leave a comment below letting me know if you currently have a stillness practice, if you currently have a meditation practice. Let me know what that looks like. Love to hear from you. Okay, so with that, I'll see you in the next video.